For the love of God, please could you start wearing underwear because I'm sick and tired of seeing your thing flap around in your pants. It makes me sick! Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and critique and reaction videos on basically anything on the internet that interests me, ranging from pop culture to internet culture and anything in between. So if any of that interests you, then be sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. Alrighty guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to your trends that you believe should die in 2020 and giving you my opinions on them. Some of them I disagree with, some of them I agree with. As always, we're keeping it very opinionated here on my channel. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it because I'm about to dive in to these trends that need to die in 2020. Let's go. Okay, so we had a lot of interesting ones. First off, let's start on the ones from Instagram. So my Instagram is just at @TheLukeAlexander if you'd like to go ahead and follow me. So the first thing that needs to die in 2020 apparently is cancel culture. Now, I definitely agree with this. I think we need to shift the idea of cancel culture over to like accountability culture, where we hold influencers accountable for their actions that are wrong. And instead of just canceling people, because it has been proven time and time again with influencers like Jeffree Star, Tana Mojo, that canceling people just does not work. I think it's better to just hold people accountable and really, you know, vote with your dollar, vote with your view, and vote with your support. So the next one is chunky sneakers. So I've never really been a part of the whole chunky sneaker trend, like the big feelers, those really big shoes. I've never really thought it was cute. I do think that like the platform Doc Martens or like the platform Converse are very cute. The chunky sneakers themselves, I personally am not a fan of. So let's go ahead and leave those in 2020 because I'm kind of sick of seeing them. Unless you want to wear them, in which case that's fine, it's your prerogative. Next one is over-sexualized dances on TikToks, boys grabbing their crotch. Yeah, this is literally disgusting when these boys are like doing these really sexualized TikToks and then you go to their account page and they're like 16 years old and you're like, this is so inappropriate. And like TikTok has no way of like gauging how old the viewer is. So I'm like seeing these underage people gyrating on my screen and I feel like a predator when it's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just scrolling through my For You page. Like, I don't even understand why TikTok thinks that that's something that I want to watch. Who the hell knows what's going on with my algorithm? But I'm so sick and tired of seeing boys gyrating on TikTok and grabbing their crotch. And for the love of God, please could you start wearing underwear because I'm sick and tired of seeing your thing flap around in your pants. It makes me sick! Sick! To my stomach. Next one is conventionally attractive people getting famous for no reason but their good looks. Yeah, this happens all the time. You'll see a TikTok. I feel like it's always on TikTok. God, that app is just so toxic, so horrendously, disgustingly smelly and nasty and just like garbage juice, really. But you see people on this app and they'll be like, I only love my mom on my bed telepathy, and they're like, they don't do anything. They just lip sync and they're conventionally attractive and they get like millions of views and people thirsting for them in the comments. And I'm just like, really? This is content nowadays. No, let's leave that shit behind in 2020, please. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it! I saw a lot of people talking about low-waisted jeans having a comeback, and like, definitely I don't really like have this problem because I don't wear high-waisted or low-waisted jeans. I just wear like regular jeans and I don't wear crop tops, so I don't really have this issue. But I could see why having low-cut jeans coming back is an issue because, you know, like, we have stomachs, we eat food, our stomachs bloat. Like, unless you're gonna, like, it's like, I mean, you could have a stomach that sticks out and wear low-cut jeans, but like, it's not exactly the look. It's like that whole, are they skinny or are they fashionable thing? Like, most of the time it's like skinny people who are rocking the low-rise cut jeans because it's like made for them. But high-waisted jeans are just so much better in my opinion. I don't wear them, but I could see why a lot of people would prefer them because they like hug your body and they like hide your fupa and your bloated stomach when you want to eat some food. But at the end of the day, I think that people are going to wear whatever they want to wear. In my opinion, I think that low-cut jeans don't actually look that good, regardless of what your body type looks like. But wear whatever jeans you want to wear. But low-cut jeans, let's leave it back in the early 2000s, okay? Next one is gender reveal parties. Yeah, I'm so sick of gender reveal parties. I think they're stupid. And then all of the ridiculous ways that people are doing it. Like, I've seen people have their baby, like, put powder on their baby's butt and then the baby fart either pink or blue powder. And I think that just the most outrageous things are happening when it comes to gender reveal parties. Some of them are actually getting dangerous, like people like shooting things and blowing up stuff and then it being pink or blue. And I just think it's stupid because there's more to your child than their gender. Next one is standing Taylor Swift. I personally have no issue with this trend. I myself am a Swiftie, not ashamed to admit it anymore. Okay, Taylor Swift is amazing. I love her music. The fact that she gave us 2 albums this year, like literally iconic. Iconic behavior. No, Taylor Swift is superior, so I will continue to stand her and bring her with me into 2021. Next one is those hairstyles where only the front parts are dyed. I was tempted at one point, but nah. I assume you're talking about the ones where they have like these front strands over here dyed. I actually kind of like this trend. I thought it was fun. I thought it was unique. I thought it was a way of like dyeing your hair fun color, but not having to commit to like frying your entire skull. So I actually like that trend. Do I want it to come into 2021? Debatable. I feel like it's kind of old now. I feel like we could respectfully leave it in 2020 because it's had its time and it enjoyed its time. But you know what? All good things must come to an end. And that was a good thing. You know, I'm not saying it was bad. Next one is body positivity only going one way, aka when a skinny girl does it, it's suddenly bad and not allowed. I think body positivity should be for everyone. Everyone should be allowed to love their body. I just think that sometimes the way people do it, especially like skinny people do it, can come across as a little like fishing for compliments, and that's where we get into like a territory that needs to be mandated. Okay. Commenting, wow, I wish I had your confidence, and other backhanded compliments. Yeah, backhanded compliments have always been a thing that I don't like. I'm like, just stop. Like saying to a plus size person, oh my God, I wish I had your confidence just because they wear like a skirt or a crop top. It's just offensive. I don't think they're going to take it as a compliment. So like, best to just keep your mouth shut. Okay, zip it. We're getting a lot of this when we should be getting a lot of this. Okay. Pretending that Harry Styles isn't hot. Yeah, those people just need to get their eyes checked because Harry Styles is extremely attractive in every sense of the word. I feel like he transcends genders and sexuality. He's just a beautiful human being. Being more worried about the photo you get than enjoying the event/vacation and travel. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing this a lot this year where I've been like trying to detach myself from my phone when I'm in events, like not always feeling the need to like constantly post about what I'm doing. Instead, just kind of like live in the moment. And I feel like a lot of times we get obsessed with capturing every moment when why can't you just live through it? You know what I mean? We get obsessed with capturing moments so we forget to live through them. So I definitely think like maybe take less photos and post less on social media and live more in the moment in 2021. If anything, 2020 has taught us that life is short and you got to enjoy it while you can. Next one is mullets. I just cannot deal. Yeah, me neither. I'm sorry. The only person who rocks a mullet is Miley Cyrus, and even then, it's not exactly the cutest hairdo she's ever had. No matter how attractive you are, I'm sorry, like a mullet just isn't it for me. And people will be like, no, look at these like people in BTS who have like a mullet, or like this guy has a mullet and he's really hot. And I'm like, no, he's just a hot guy with a mullet. The mullet doesn't make him hotter. It actually detracts from his hotness. You know what I mean? Like mullets, can we just leave them back in the past, please? Because they're becoming so trendy and it's like y'all are ruining your hair and you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. YouTubers and celebrities messing with OnlyFans. Gabby T. Martino. Kanamoja. Bella Thorne. Yeah, I spoke about this in my last video where I spoke about problematic influencers, so definitely check that out. But yeah, influencers need to stop destroying a platform that was created for people who aren't influencers to actually make some money. Okay? Flex culture. Yeah, we've been known that flex culture needs to end. It's ridiculous. It's a horrible trend, especially this year where it has become like so out of touch and tone deaf and just like not a great time for you to be flexing your wealth when there are so many people struggling. I don't know if it's a trend, but family vlogging needs to stay in 2020. Yeah, family vlogging needs to be over. I've seen a lot of influencers like the Stuffer family, the Ace family, the Blonde family, even Colleen Ballinger, who like just post incessantly about their children, and I just think that it's wrong. I cannot get into it about family vloggers, but I will never stop disliking family vloggers. I think it's wrong to expose your child to the internet when they have no way of consenting to it, and it's horrible, and I don't like it, and I don't even think it's fair to the child. So family vlogging, please can we leave that in 2020? I highly doubt it'll happen, but you know, a boy can dream. Assuming that Shawn Mendes and other straight boys are gay because of their mannerisms. Yeah, this needs to, speculating about people's sexuality needs to be left in the past because it makes it so much harder for people to actually come out if they aren't straight. But then even if they are straight, like who Shawn Mendes claims that he's straight, well, he says that he is, so I'm going to believe him and say that he is. That must be so irritating to constantly have people judge you because of your sexuality. I know for me, I constantly get people being like, you're not bi, you're gay, you're just faking it, blah, blah, blah. And that really irritates me because invalidating somebody's identity is just, it's not a nice thing. It doesn't feel good. And I think we need to leave that behind, you know, speculating about people's sexuality back in 2020 and just not bring it into us in 2021. Next one is tiny shades, very ugly and useless. So I'm assuming you're talking about sunglasses. I kind of think they're cute when like people put them on their noses like that, and like Emma Chamberlain really pioneered that trend, and I feel like any trend that Emma starts is really iconic. So you know what, I actually don't have a problem with them coming into 2021. I just personally think they're very impractical and it would never be something that I could wear. I mean, especially because my sunglasses have a really strong prescription, but that's neither here nor there. Next one is blackfishing. Nikita Dragon. Oh, sorry, there must be something stuck in my throat today. But yes, blackfishing needs to stop. If you don't know what blackfishing is, it's basically where people try and appear as if they're black for, you know, more attention, or so that they can get clout, or so that they can seem racially ambiguous Kardashians, and then they steal from black creators because they're taking their opportunities when they're not even black. And they're like taking the trendy parts of being black when they don't get to experience the struggles of being black. It's just horrible in general. Let's just cut it out with the blackfishing, okay? That's enough of that. Next one is couple prank videos. I hate couple prank videos. I'm so sick and tired of seeing you pretend to cheat on your ex, or like trying to like turn on your partner and then like deny them of sex. Like, it's just weird. Or like people have literally done like miscarriage pranks. Like, it's getting out of hand and it needs to stop immediately, okay? Let's leave that behind in 2020 with the rest of all the horrible shit that 2020 brought, okay? This person said femboys. I actually like femboys. I think femboys are an important part to our society because they defy gender norms. So let femboys do their things. Bring them into 2021 and stop shaming them. Next up, let's get into the ones from Twitter. Mini bags. What's the point? So mini bags, like the one that Lizzo had to one of the award shows, I think it's just funny. It's fun. I don't think we've seen enough of them yet. I don't feel like it's had its time. So like definitely bring mini bags into the future because I think they're ridiculous. And any fashion trend that is just stupid and ridiculous and funny, I'm gonna bring into the mix because it just makes life more lighthearted and fun. So we're gonna go ahead and bring them in to 2021. Influencers loving all the perks of being an influencer but hating the responsibilities that come along with those perks. Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of pros and cons to being an influencer and you have to take them both into account. And at the end of the day, you are there to influence people. You hold influence over people. And I get really annoyed with all these influencers like Tana Mojo who say like, I never signed up to be a role model. And it's like, well, too bad, you are one. Now take the responsibility and go along with it because you have young, impressionable fans, okay? For the love of God, please could you start wearing underwear because I'm sick and tired of seeing your thing flap around in your pants. It makes me sick. So think about what you do next time you do something. Oh, come on. All these influencers are so irritating and they really need to get their crap together. Where's the PR? We need some more public relations up in his house. We need people to have like these people who like monitor what they're doing because they're getting out of hand. Using movements like BLM as an aesthetic and trend instead of actually trying to change the world. Yeah, I think a lot of people jump on the bandwagon and like are all about like performative activism instead of like actually doing stuff like opening their purse, speaking openly, creating change, you know, speaking up in their lives. Like I know a lot of people will be around friends and their friends will use the N-word and they'll just not say anything. Could never be me. I used to have friends who said the N-words and now guess what? We're no longer friends. Moving on. So people not wearing a mask during a pandemic in an area advising it and then throwing a hissy fit when they get called out for it. Yeah, if you live somewhere where your government is telling you to wear a mask, wear a mask. Otherwise you're putting yourself and others in danger and it's selfish. Because yes, you may survive the virus, but there are people out there who won't. So please just put on a goddamn mask. It's not that hard. If I lived in a state where I had to do it, I would. But luckily I live in Queensland in Australia where we've handled it very well. But if things, you know, go down the wrong path and we have to wear masks, you best believe that I'll be wearing one. Besides, I wouldn't mind having to cover half my face, you know, when I'm having like a bad skin day or something, but that's neither here nor there. Next one is fan cams under every single shit. So fan cams are like videos of like celebrities dancing to like music and like their fans posted, mainly like BTS and K-pop do it. And yeah, it is very annoying because a lot of times it like has no relevancy to the tweet and you're just doing it to get views and likes. And especially when you spam it, I'm like, oh, get out of here. Next one says body types being trans needs to go. Like, why is a body type like the hourglass at the moment in trend? It's just weird to me. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things in trend at the moment, like the hourglass body, the big butt, the big lips, like all that type of stuff that just comes and goes. And like, I don't really think that's like specific to 2020. I think that's just society in general, just like trending or like making people's bodies trend. And I think that it's problematic because it, you know, can affect people's body image, disordered eating, all these horrible things. And I definitely think that in 2021, I want us to be more inclusive to different body types and not praise a certain body type. Let's just like, you know, promote body neutrality where we're just like neutral about all body types, okay? You don't need to be super positive or super negative. You can just be like, a body's a body. It's a vessel that you move around in. And as long as you're healthy and happy, then that's what matters. It doesn't really matter what you look like. Next one is bad behavior in movies and TV shows being romanticized. Like after 50 Shades of Grey, 365 Days, I could see more girls talking about how much they want a boyfriend like that. And I'm tired of hearing that. Yeah, honestly, those type of movies and TV shows are so problematic. And like, I think there's a fine line between like BDSM and like abuse. And like sometimes we teeter on the line and then sometimes we full on cross the line. And that's when we have an issue, especially when teenage girls are like romanticizing it and then they get into these toxic relationships and it's unhealthy. Maybe we should just like have stricter age caps on these movies, but then you can't prevent your teenager from watching a movie on Netflix. Like they're gonna watch it. And so it's really difficult to police that. Streaming platforms like Netflix over-sexualizing teenagers in their shows. It doesn't matter if the actor is over 18. If the character is underage, then there should be no graphic scenes with them in there. See, I don't know, maybe they should just be less graphic, but like sex and, you know, sexuality is a normal part of our life. And I feel like we don't want to ruin a lot of the progress that we've created by destigmatizing a lot of it, by removing a lot of it, because you don't want to see like teenagers portrayed sexually in TV shows, but it's also realistic. And like if the actors are over the age of 18, technically you're not viewing anything that's wrong. So I have an issue if the actors are under 18, but if they're not, then I think it's fine. I guess it just depends on person to person. Next one is pretending to care about mental health. Yeah, there are a lot of people who claim to care about mental health and are all about mental health advocacy, but then when people actually struggle with mental health, they're like, you know what, you're a freak, you're horrible, you're a bad person, see ya, peace, I'm out. And I think it's horrible. And I experienced this in real life, so I'm very, very personally affected by it. And I think that it goes both ways. Like, yes, if you have mental health issues, you need to realize that it's not an excuse for your behavior, it's an explanation, but you still have to be held accountable. But like, let's give people with mental health struggles some slack because they're struggling and fighting every single day. Next one is TikTok houses and over-sexual dances and trending audios on TikTok. Yeah, TikTok houses, I swear to God, if there's another one created in 2021, I'm about to leave TikTok because I'm over it. I'm sick of it. And like, why does everything on TikTok need to be so sexual? Like these teenagers are gyrating and thumping and humping and lumping and I'm just so like, it's just too much. It's too much for my eyes. I have to wash out my eyes with holy water every single time I go on that app. Next one is what I eat in a day, and I definitely think that what I eat in a day should just be left in 2020. I've always thought that they were so unhealthy. You watch these what I eat in a days on TikTok and then it makes you judge what you're eating and think that you're eating too much, because a lot of the times on TikTok they're eating too little and promoting disordered eating and like restrictive eating. And even like the fitness community, like sometimes with like the counting calories and all that, it just all becomes like a little bit too much. Next one is recording people without their knowledge. Yeah, I definitely think that this is wrong and I see it all the blooming time on TikTok, and it's actually illegal most of the time, I think. I think it depends on what state you're in, because some states it's like if you're in public you are open to that, but just like don't do it. It's wrong. How would you like it if someone filmed you without your consent? Next one is using the I was in a dark place mentally card to excuse your trashy behavior. Nope, stop using mental illness as an excuse to treat people horribly. That's not cool. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the times people will want to use that excuse like of their mental health, but mental health is not an excuse, it's an explanation. And saying that you were in a dark place does not excuse your behavior for doing something wrong. Take accountability for your actions, take responsibility, apologize, move on, and show that you've changed, okay? It's only one thing to say sorry. You need to show that you've changed, and just saying you were in a dark place mentally does not give you a veto. The use of AAVE, which is African American Vernacular English, internet language, grow a personality and stop copying black gay femmes and black women. Yeah, I definitely agree with this. I myself have been, in the past, have used AAVE without even really realizing it. Like words like cis and child and other stuff like that. And then people called me out on it. I apologized and I stopped doing it. It's really that simple. Like if you are unaware that you're using it, because a lot of the times, you know, we think that these certain things are internet slang, internet culture, when really if you educate yourself, it's actually AAVE. And then once you realize that, you can implement the changes by stopping doing it. You know what I mean? Okay, this one is very relevant now. It says skinny people spreading body positivity by creating roles by bending over in weird shapes. It makes people who have roles feel bad and takes away attention from plus size people. Each body type should be celebrated, but don't try and change the way your bodies look to sympathize. This is really relevant right now because like, there's this trend going around on TikTok where it's like, my body looks like this, where it's like a skinny person like standing all normal, and then my body also looks like this, and they're like hunched over and like purposely creating roles where like they wouldn't naturally be a role if they were just standing or sitting like a normal person, and they're just doing it for attention and so they can get compliments. Basically, a lot of people on TikTok, a lot of skinny people are just constantly fishing for compliments, and it's irritating. Just like stop. The trend wasn't created for you. Not everything needs to be for you. And I'm saying this as like a skinny person. I would never do that. Okay. Next one is pretending you have a mental illness to look cool and quirky. It isn't fun. You all can have mine if you want. Yeah, same here. You can have my mental illness if you want, because it ain't fun. And I think we need to stop throwing around the words so flippantly. Like if somebody has a mood change or a mood swing, being like, oh my God, they're so bipolar. Or like, oh my God, my TV show just finished. I'm so depressed. Or like, oh my God, I'm so anxious about like going to this party. My anxiety is so bad. Unless you actually do have social anxiety, in which case it's different. But I think you guys know what I mean. Just stop flippantly using mental health as like a quirk. It's not a personality trait either. It's like a serious thing. Next one is forgiving influencers and celebs for partying and not social distancing or wearing masks during the pandemic and blaming their recklessness on their youth. Yeah, just because you're young doesn't mean you don't know what's right and wrong. And I think that people are very, very, very almost too forgiving about these influencers who go to these parties. Like James Charles, when he went to that party, got away like without even any skin off his back. Larray, who threw a giant party, went away without getting held. These people just aren't getting held accountable, and it's wrong. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it! Next one is some social media algorithms show that white creators blow up for doing the same thing POC creators do and are just overall favored. Yeah, this really needs to stop, especially when like white creators are stealing from POC creators on TikTok and then they get thousands, if not millions of views for doing the thing that they did and not even crediting them. And just on social media apps, algorithms favoring white creators over POC. It's just wrong and it's just horrible. And it's not even a trend. It's just something that needs to be stopped like yesterday. So I really hope that going into 2021 that everybody can be treated more fairly and equally on social media when it comes to the algorithms and just like give people credit, okay? Stop stealing from POC, okay? It's been enough of that. Allowing literal sexual predators to still have platforms, especially on TikTok. Yeah, this is about like Zoe Laverne and Tony Lopez who have like literally like been speaking to underage people inappropriately, and I think it's wrong that TikTok allows them to stay on the platform. So those were all the ones from Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's just Luke the Lunatic. And now let's move on to the ones from my YouTube community tab. If you want to be a part of that, just make sure you always have the post notifications bell set to all so that you don't miss any of my videos or my posts on the community tab, because I really like to keep you guys involved in my videos. It feels like we're like creating the video together. Next one is saying slurs and calling it dark humor. Yeah, saying a slur is just wrong and horrible and it's not funny. It's like honestly just cheap humor. Like you could do better than that. I mean, maybe you can't and that's why you're doing it, but either way, stop it. Get some help. Next one is saying I'm not trying to be mean, but blah, 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 and then literally bullying people. Yeah, honestly, like stuff like that. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but so-and-so says this, or when you say stuff like no offense, like what you're going to say next is going to be offensive. And bullying 2020, even though like the tiniest little smidge, the little drop of bullying builds character, because I don't think I'd be as strong as I am if it wasn't for the bullying. But then I'm not saying bully people. It's a very fine line. Basically, like, just stop being mean to people, but if somebody's mean to you, like Kelly Clarkson says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Putting people into boxes in general, saying they're too basic, they're trying too hard, they're an e-girl, e-boy, visco girl, ECC. Can we just let people be who they want to be and stop putting them in boxes? Yeah, honestly, like, labels are just like a really annoying thing. Like, why do you feel the constant need to like categorize people like they're a food item or like put a label on them like they're a product? Like, we're human beings, we're multifaceted, we're four-dimensional, well, three-dimensional. I don't know what that is. I just wish that I could be free and just be me, like Harry Styles. Catch me like turning into Harry Styles in a few months. But no, I just hate labels so much. Especially like, why do we need to label stuff like just the way that people dress, like e-girl, e-boy? Like, we're looking for labels that just shouldn't even be there. Like, just be people. Acting like blackface and saying the N-word was okay like 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't get this when people have said the N-word like 10 years ago and it gets brought up and they're like, that was back then. Like, things were different back then. It's like, no, even back then it was not okay to do those things. Like, maybe it was more okay than it is now, but that doesn't mean that it was okay. Like, even back 10 years ago, I was 10 and I still knew not to do or say those things. Next one is not necessarily dark humor in general, but joking about serious issues like RAPE or self-harm and calling it dark humor. Yeah, I think this is wrong. If you need to joke about like traumatic experiences that people have gone through that can like really trigger people, I think that says a lot about you and the type of humor that you have. And if you find that funny, there's something seriously wrong with you. Like, yes, I'm not trying to say you can't joke about anything because all jokes will offend somebody because that's what humor is. But making jokes about traumatic experiences like that to me is just not funny. Next one is any of those trends on TikTok that are supposed to tell you if you are attractive, e.g. showing your side profile, the inverted filter trend. They seem so innocent, but they're also toxic. Yeah, I feel like on TikTok especially, like a lot of people have this infatuation about like being attractive and like seeing how symmetrical you are and how perfect you are in your side profile and like getting nose jobs and like all this BS. I've made so many videos about this, so it's like pointless to me saying it, but I feel like TikTok is literally a cesspool of toxicity that just like perpetuates finding value in your appearance when really you have value in so much more than just that. Next one is casting influencers in movies even though there are more qualified actors out there. Yeah, this is just like stupid. like that, they're not actors, they're influencers. Like, let them do their influencer things, let them gyrate on TikTok for 30 seconds and get paid $1 million for that. Let's save the acting for actual actors because you're taking jobs away from people who need them. You know how many struggling actors are out there? Next one is apologies in the notes apps. Yeah, unless you make an apology video, I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to read your apology. I want to wash my dishes while you're crying and apologizing in your video, okay? I don't want to sit there and read it. That's too much for me. I shouldn't have to put an effort because of your apology. Next one is calling people snowflakes for being genuinely offended by something. Don't invalidate someone else's feelings just because you don't see anything wrong with the situation. Yeah, I think people's feelings are valid. If someone gets offended by something you said, maybe you don't necessarily have to apologize, but don't also invalidate their feelings, okay? If you said something genuinely offensive that you can tell has offended a lot of people, maybe just explain where you are coming from and just apologize. Like, it's not that hard to apologize, but some people are just so stubborn. But I think the main thing is to not invalidate people's feelings, like you said. Next one is commenting things like, I guess I'm not eating today, under videos of skinny people. It's so toxic. Yeah, it's really, really toxic on TikTok, the disordered eating trends that occur over there, and like just seeing skinny people and then commenting stuff like, I'm not gonna eat today. It's like, no, like everybody has different metabolisms and different genetics. Like, let's not perpetuate disordered eating, okay? Yeah, TikTok really needs to get on monitoring and moderating their comment sections. I don't know how they would do it, but like it needs to happen because there's some toxic stuff on there. I've made like 2 videos on TikTok if you want to check them out. Next one is making teens with no talent famous and then getting mad when they aren't social justice activists. Yeah, honestly, you can't expect much from these teens on TikTok who just gyrate for a living. I really keep hitting home with that gyrating for a living thing, but I really just think it's ridiculous what they do and that they get paid millions and millions for doing it. Am I jealous? Maybe, but like, I just am more just sad about what we're coming to on social media. Next one is glamorizing fame and success at an early age really changes mindsets of parents these days when society already has so much pressure put on children and teens. Yeah, I think being famous as a child and a teen is really unhealthy for your development. And I think maybe like in 2021, we should really be careful about who we make famous. And the last one is, I'm not conservative, I'm liberal, but bullying someone for their political stance, especially in the US, is rude. If they ain't bothering you, don't bother them. See, this is a tricky one. I definitely don't think we should bully people, and people are entitled to have their own beliefs. But when your belief literally negates the human rights of another person, that's where I have an issue. But honestly, politics is just so... Can we just like leave bigots in 2020 and just like, let's all just be like more accepting of other people in 2021. That's like the overall message that I want to have. It's just like, leave people alone and let people be who they want to be. As long as they're not hurting you, why does it matter? Okay. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed these trends that I was reacting to. Some of them were more deep, some of them were more surface level. I really wanted to have a mix. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts down below. Any trends that you think that should die in 2020 and not move it to 2021. If you've not already followed me on my social media, please go ahead and do so. It's all linked down below, as well as the link to my second channel, my podcast, my merch, and my Cameo if you would like to go ahead and support me further. If you have not already, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. And that's it for me in this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in my next one. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye!